We've got some amazing stats from the southern border showing just how effective President Trump has been at securing it. But now comes word that California Governor Gavin Newsom has launched a marketing campaign to bring more foreigners into our state. It's absolutely insane. The media is not covering this story, but we will coming up. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state representative representing District 75 in the California State Assembly. I haven't been talking about the U.S. southern border for a few weeks on this show. We've been covering a lot of other topics, but there's a lot to update you on because there's a lot of good news and there's some pretty significant bad news. And of course, the bad news is coming from, well, Mexico and Governor Gavin Newsom. So I want to give you a quick border update because the success that Trump has had just in the first 90 days of his administration is stunning. And of course, the liberal media, they don't want to cover this story, but we will. Before we get into the update on border security and some of the nonsense that we're seeing from Governor Gavin Newsom, marketing to foreigners, asking them to come to the United States through California, it's just insane. So while Trump is securing the border, Newsom is, again, trying to kick the doors wide open. I want to remind you that at Reform California, we are leading the fight in our state to end the sanctuary state law and to cut off the welfare benefits for illegal immigrants and to empower local law enforcement to actually work with the federal authorities in enforcing border security and getting these bad criminals out of our country. But we can't do this without your help. I've said it from the get-go that, yes, getting President Trump into the White House was the first step in securing the southern border. But administrations come and go. And as I'll explain in a moment, if you have state elected officials in California constantly opening back up the door and facilitating human trafficking and illegal immigration, you will never have a secure southern border. So we've got to do our part here in the state of California to change policy. And Reform California is the group that's leading that fight. Go to our website, reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org, click under campaigns and look at our border security initiative. This would do three things. Number one, it would repeal the sanctuary state law. We cannot shield these people in this country in violation, direct violation of federal law. Number two, we would cut off the welfare benefits because what Newsom and the Democrats are doing is that they're using welfare, your taxpayer money, free health care, free education, free housing, all sorts of direct aid payments, legal services. All of these goodies have been dangled in front of the illegal immigrants. They're used to market by the coyotes and the cartels, the human traffickers, to get people to make this dangerous journey. So we've got to cut off that spigot. And that happens in the state of California. It's not coming from the feds. It's coming from state tax dollars, courtesy of Gavin Newsom and California Democrats. And then third, we've got to empower local law enforcement and our state National Guard to work collaboratively with Border Patrol and ICE to do the job. Those are the three reforms in our border security initiative. Read about it at reformcalifornia.org, but do something more. Get off the couch and into the fight. Sign up on that website so that you can be part of our ongoing movement. As we go and frame this issue into a ballot measure and collect signatures, we're going to need your help. But we're also going to need your help in exposing the votes, the bad votes of California politicians on these issues. And I'm going to share a list of names in just a moment for you. Politicians who voted to keep welfare benefits for illegal immigrants. But go on that website at the bottom and sign up. First name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, and you'll be tethered into our growing statewide movement to secure our border. Finally, please chip in a contribution. We rely exclusively on $10, $20, $30 donations at a time from people like you who care about the future of our state and want us to fight. Without gas in the tank, Reform California can't do all this work. We can't do the podcast every day at 5 o'clock that we bring you for news that the liberal media won't tell you about. We can't recruit, train, mentor, and support candidates up and down the state of California for local office and state office. And we can't do the ballot measures like California voter ID or, as we want, the Secure Border Initiative. So chip in a contribution of any amount right now for border security at reformcalifornia.org. Okay, let me get into the news. So Trump is trying to secure the border. In a moment, I'm going to share with you some amazing statistics just confirming how good his policies are. And the liberal media won't tell you about the success that he's had because they don't want to celebrate any of his success. But as Trump is securing our border, Gavin Newsom just launched, and I'm not making this up, this is from his own press release, just launched a marketing campaign trying to convince foreigners to come to the state of California. Your taxpayer money convincing them to come to the state of California. Now, we already know that the cartels, coyotes, human traffickers, they already are marketing in Latin America, Central America, Mexico, to get people to come to the United States by talking about the free welfare benefits. Now you've got Newsom working with a taxpayer-funded program called Visit California. And it says, Governor Newsom and Visit California launch international tourism campaign welcoming Canadians to experience the warmth and love of the Golden State. Okay. What's so special about Canadians? Well, Newsom says, Canadians say they don't want to come to California. Okay, this program is not just about Canada. You follow the money and they have ad campaigns, yes, in Mexico, in Central America, in other countries. They are advertising, come to California, come to California. And they say it's about tourism. And look, I don't buy it for a moment. You're out there trying to get people to come to California. Why don't you do this? Instead of getting foreigners to come to California, why don't you try to convince Californians to stay in this state? Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be remarkable? Why don't you cut the cost of living? Why don't you combat crime, get rid of the homeless problem, give them better schools, fix their roads? Oh, no. We don't care about citizens. We don't care about the massive exodus of citizens from the state of California to other states. Instead, we got to restock everything with foreigners. And again, that's been the big story that the media won't tell you, is that California's massive exodus of citizens has now hit millions in terms of total tally, just since Newsom took office in 2018. And yet, how have the Democrats tried to stabilize that hemorrhage of population to other states? They've tried to restock citizens with foreigners. So they've got all this advertising money out there. God, look at that asshat. It's all about him. Me. He is the star of the show. Hey, it's Gavin Newsom. You love my hair? Come check it out in California. Just slap him. So Newsom is doing this. But the bigger thing is not just the TV ads that they're going to run. It really is the welfare benefits. That's the inducement. That's the advertising to get people to come illegally to this state. And I offered a hostile amendment last week on the budget. And the Democrats, of course, voted it down. My amendment would say no more taxpayer funding for illegal immigrants. And here's the vote. We had 51 Democrats vote no. All 18 Republicans voted yes. Several Democrats walked off the floor because they didn't want to vote against this amendment, because they know that, again, 70% of California voters want to cut off the spigot. They don't like their taxpayer money going to illegal immigrants. But we've got some target seat members here that I think we're going to be able to take out of office, like Tasha Boner. We've got Corey Jackson. We've got Garcia. These are all target seat members that we can go after in this election. Patel, Ramos, Quirk Silva, Rodriguez, Rubio, target seat members, Chavo. I believe that we can take them out of office for voting for this nonsense. So all those red votes are Democrats, some of which are in target seats, these votes will come back to haunt them. And that's what I'm doing, is unlike Republicans in the past that just kind of rolled over and accepted it, I'm filing hostile amendments to force the vote, because I want a list of names. I want to be able to go and say, here's the list of names, and we're going after you in the next election, and we're going to make your constituents aware of you voting for foreigners over the benefit of tax-paying American citizens here in California. Now, let me give you the update on the success that Trump is having. While Democrats and Newsom are trying to advertise to get people to come here, and they're dangling the carrot of free welfare, Trump is kicking real, you know what. Here's the graph. Border Patrol apprehensions, U.S.-Mexico border, January 2000 to February 2025. Here is the Biden administration, all the way up to 250,000 in 1 month. That's just a year ago. From 250,000 in 1 month, dropping to 8,326 in the month of February. It's brilliant. Oh, it's so marvelous. Now, Trump just signed a new executive order. He came into office saying, remain in Mexico policy, empower Border Patrol, continue building the wall. All of these new authorities have been rolled into place. And that kind of caught us back up to the policies he had that were successful in his first administration. But he's going even farther. Trump just this last week, and this isn't getting a whole lot of attention in the media, signed an executive order saying the entire small strip along the southern border, all across San Diego, will now become a U.S. Army base. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Very clever. He basically is creating an Army base and saying now the Army can go down there and defend their military base. So you probably didn't hear from the liberal media in California that California just got another military base for our state. That would pretty much be pretty important news, right? Nope, they didn't cover it. And this just happened in an executive order signed this past week. Associated Press, a long sliver of federal land along the U.S.-Mexico border that President Donald Trump is turning over to the Department of Defense would be controlled by the Army as part of a base, which would then allow troops to detain any trespassers, including illegal immigrants, U.S. officials told the Associated Press. Now, you can't use the military per se under federal law to do border security, direct border security. They can be a support role to Border Patrol, and we've done that before. But this is a whole game-changing executive order. That's why I love it, because it really allows the military to have full participation in securing the southern border. This is a big deal. Of course, Democrats in Sacramento have said that they're going to sue. They say that this is not appropriate. You can't just declare something to be an Army base. You have to go through all these environmental reviews. Oh, what do you think is going to contaminate the environment more? An Army patrol or some homeless migrant camp with a bunch of people, emptying their waste into our stream? I mean, these people aren't even good environmentalists. But this is a big deal. And it's going to get challenged in court. But Trump has been on a pretty good roll in getting federal judges, U.S. Supreme Court judges in particular, to uphold his right as president. And he's done a lot of good legal research in these executive orders. His batting average is pretty good. So we'll keep you up to date as to California's new Army base at the southern border. It's a little strip of land all along the southern border. Very brilliant. Finally, Donald Trump is finally raising, and I'm thrilled about this because I've been focused on this issue for many, many years. And that is Mexico at our border continues to dump raw sewage into our beaches and our bays. And the federal government doesn't seem to be wanting to do anything about it. Trump was on Air Force One and made remarks about what he would like to see done about the negligent and reckless dumping of sewage by Mexico, Baja California state, as well as Tijuana, which is the city down there. Contaminating our beaches and bays, closing our beaches and bays on a regular basis. I've always said, if you want to deal with this issue, tell Mexico for every day that your sewage causes one of our beaches to have to shut because of environmental contamination, which is about half the time for Imperial Beach. For every day that one of our beaches closes, we're going to close the border. No crossing. You hit them in the pocketbook because all those workers need to get across the border for jobs. You hit them in the pocketbook, they'll clean up their sewage water real damn quick. Here.
South Bay.
Very bad and disgusting things happen, and they shouldn't be doing that.
Very bad and disgusting things are happening. They shouldn't be doing that. So Trump has got this on his radar now. We're working with his administration to tee up some more teeth in the process. Here is Environmental Protection Agency head Lee Zeldin. Imagine this. Democrats don't care about this environmental contamination. It's only the Republicans starting to act on this.
Lee Zeldin, the director of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, only recently started talking about it publicly. now the president.
I want anybody from D.C. to come. I mean, we couldn't get Newsom here for years.
So where California politicians refuse to act, now we're grateful that the Trump
guy?
administration is starting to focus on this issue.
Very grateful that Trump is focusing on this issue. This is going to be a big topic that we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks and months. This is our next big battle at the border, is stopping the Mexico sewage from impacting our environment and our health, by the way. It's a health issue and an environmental issue. Look, I've got a jet, but share this video, subscribe to this channel so we can continue to bring you these wonderful episodes and help us spread the word. Liking and subscribing to the videos helps us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Also, sign up at that website, reformcalifornia.org. Be part of our growing movement in the state of California to take back our state from far-left insanity. And yes, please chip in a contribution. Whatever you can do helps the cause. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California State Representative. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.